What's up guys, it's Jeff Chan from MMA Shredded, and if you didn't know, I just came back from Argentina. Today you'll be watching me break down my sparring at United Fight Center against some young Argentinian beasts. From my understanding, they're all ranging from 21 to 25 years old. They're all super talented and ambitious, all with a bright future in MMA. So if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. So if you guys didn't watch my Argentina vlog I released a few days ago, firstly, you should go check it out. And secondly, to give you some context, I went on vacation for 3 weeks and had not trained at all. Buenos Aires was our last destination. I actually came straight from the airport. So before we continue, this video is sponsored by Kasori, the #1 rated air fryer on Amazon. Using my favorite kitchen appliance, I'm able to make an awesome balanced lunch. This beautiful Greek lemon chick and potatoes rice bowl. I just marinate the chicken breasts, pop it into the air fryer. It's done in literally less than 10 minutes. Plus, all the oil drips to the bottom, letting me eat what I want without worrying about those extra calories. So, if you're in the mood to kickstart a healthier version of yourself, check out the link below and grab one today. And on to the video. So I felt really out of shape and everyone wanted a piece of me. In between rounds, I was being asked left, right, and center to spar. So as you can see, I was starting really slow and really trying to conserve my energy. Training and traveling is really cool and I highly recommend it. The only downfall is you spend so much time traveling that you aren't staying in shape. So a left high kick here from my 21-year-old opponent misses but followed with a nice cross that lands flush. I'm still trying to play a little more defensively to save energy as I know my opponent has tons of energy and cardio. A beautiful Superman jab into the double leg. As I sprawled to defend, he went for an outside leg trip. Literally fell on my ass. I turned around to stand up, but he does a good job at taking my back. After a bit of scrambling, I get on top. I know you guys like the striking, so I stood back up. And a nice knee from my opponent as I got up. Keeping my hands up as I can tell he likes to throw that left high kick. Here, I slipped his punch as I threw my cross at the same time. He goes for the left high kick again, followed by his cross jab. I look for my high kick, but he blocks. And again, he goes for the left high kick, but loses his balance. Here I chop the leg as I slip my head off center line to avoid getting punched. Here I went to hand trap his lead hand, but he went to punch at the same time. I landed my cross, but he also landed his right hook. Then over here, I paired his jab cross and into my left hook cross. And a nice uppercut from him here as he shifted forward, and I get him back with a cross to low kick. I shot for a double leg here, and he quickly uses the wall to stand back up, so I had to pull his legs out underneath him again. He manages to stand up again, so I put him in a front headlock, snapped him down, spun around to take his back, and sinked in the rear naked choke, getting the tap. Here, I threw my cross to set up my rear high kick. And over here, I perfectly timed his hook and went under for a double leg. Surprisingly, he still managed to sprawl out of it, so I transitioned into my double underhooks and finished the takedown there. I fast forward some grappling here, and my opponent managed to scramble back to his feet. Some head movement here, and he pressures forward to go for that big punch. I timed it and went for another takedown, but he defends well. So instead of fighting for the takedown, I broke off into a right hook to high kick. You can see a repeat in his patterns now. Another left high kick followed by a cross. So I was able to time it and duck under, tying up with him. Threw a quick knee, then pushed off and exited, landed my left high kick. And a new partner, another young kid, I believe he was 22 years old. I'm still playing defensively, trying to conserve my energy. Nice takedown attempt, but I was able to defend it. Here's a right body kick, which my opponent catches with 2 arms, and I landed my Superman cross. A harder punch may or may not have made him let go of my leg, but he took the leg and drove forward for a takedown, but I was able to sprawl out of it. And my turn. He lands a low kick, and as his leg was retracting back in its stance, I caught it and drove forward to finish the takedown. He gets into guard, so I went for an over and under pass, and as I did that, he scrambled to his knee, in which I transitioned to take his back. Fast forward a bit, he turns into my guard and stands up to strike. As he gave me space to move, I shrimped to stand back up, so he hugged my legs and tried to pin me down. I started cross-facing and posting with my other arm to technical lift and stand back up. Damn, I was tired. So I went for my body cross high kick combination. I landed but tried to pull the kick back, and he caught it. I lost balance and I ended up falling to the ground, but scrambled to get on top. Fast forward some grappling. I stand up to ground and pound. He put his leg in between me and his face to defend, so I drag his leg to the side and into my punch. Fast forward some more light ground and pound. I eventually passed the full mount, and I let him up to start striking again. One of my favorite low kick setups to set up my takedown, cross the low kick, then retract my kicking leg back in a stance, and as my opponent moved forward to counterpunch, I shot for the double. And fast forward some more light ground and pound until the bell rang. Round 3, new partner, another young kid, but I did not get his age. Here I went for a foot sweep, failed on it, so I followed up with my cross hook. My opponent leans back and does a beautiful counter cross. A nice jab cross hook low kick combination for my opponent, and a lead body kick for me. Slipping the cross and into my own cross here, one of my favorite counters. So here he threw a left body kick, I undercaught it, cleared the leg and into my left hook. He spun and got too close to me, so I pushed him and into my high kick, but just missed his head. Here I lifted my lead leg to fake, then went for a foot sweep that failed, but off-balanced my opponent, so I followed up with a cross to low kick. Some head movement here. Now here I extended my rear arm, landed a quick cross, then slipped this cross and into my uppercut to overhand right. A quick jab here as my opponent moved in on me. My opponent moves in with a jab to body cross, in which I parried and into my cross counter. And an inside low kick to a quick cross. And a nice trade here, my cross for his right hook. I gotta keep my left hand up. My opponent shoots for double underhooks, so to defend, I overhooked his arm and applied shoulder pressure as I quarter turned. That broke the grip and I got free. And I finished the round with another double leg. And round 4. I go for a foot sweep again. I off-balance him, but he doesn't quite fall, so I post on his head and try to throw a head kick, but he kicks my standing leg and sweeps me. Some good low kicks and body exchanges here. And here I ate the body kick to land my cross. And here's the hand trap I tried to do earlier against my first opponent. I love the back and forth exchanges with this sparring partner. And the same sequence I tried earlier. Failed foot sweep, so I followed up with my cross hook kick, but my kick gets caught and I get swept to the ground again. I tried to hip heist and stand back up, but he drags me back to the ground. I was able to step my knee up and went for a Granby roll, but he defended his legs well, so I bailed on it and tried to stand up again. He follows me up and I try the Granby roll again. This time, I finished him with a knee bar. We stand back up and I immediately shot for the double leg, but he sprawls and defends with his underhooks, and fired back. And a counter right here as he moved forward. I know I am looking very sloppy. I blame the fatigue. Yes, another failed foot sweep, but I followed up with my hook to low kick. Here, I undercaught my opponent's left kick, but unlike before where I countered with the hook, I countered with the cross hook. You gotta mix it up, you know? Yep, I'm tired. Okay, round 5. You guys may have watched a highlight of this already. I posted it a few weeks ago. So it was the end of the class. We took our shin guards off and everything, but he really wanted a round with me. I really didn't want to do it, but what was I supposed to say? I already saw him spar with others and saw he goes pretty hard with everyone else. So I was already expecting this to be a little more intense than the rest. He lands a good shot right from the get-go. He had a good tight shell guard, but in my opinion, the shell guard isn't great when wearing MMA gloves. You'll see throughout this round I kept splitting open the guard with these little gloves. So he was pressuring forward pretty aggressively, and lands another good shot here. I had no choice but to fire back with a bit of power. I get him back with a cross that splits open his guard. A bit of head movement here. As he threw his jab here, I slipped to the inside and landed a big right hook. Again, this is why I don't like using the shell guard, because in MMA, the gloves split through, and even if they don't, you're still taking a lot of damage to the brain. Here we tied up and both exited the clinch with a big punch. And it could have been lights out for me. That was a big uppercut. And I quickly followed up with another jab cross, splitting the shell guard right open. And another jab that splits it open. I'm not gonna lie, I knew he was swinging hard, so yes, I ducked a little lower than I should have, but was able to dodge and land my counterpunch. Another good jab as he moved in on me. The jab is great for keeping your opponent back, and if he doesn't stay back, he eats the punch. Some head movement here, followed by a big left hook that lands, missed the uppercut, then I landed another big left hook, and his guard tightens up and the third one gets blocked. Then I followed up with a big body cross. Yep, I am tired. Not gonna lie, he gets me real good here. Misses a jab cross, but weaves under and into a big left hook that lands flush. And another punch that goes right through the guard. I'm telling you guys, you're gonna take a lot of damage relying on this shell guard if you're wearing MMA gloves. And as I talk bad about shelling up, I shelled up here and he lands a beautiful uppercut. And I counter back with my right hook. And we both eat heavy punches here at the same time. Another cross goes through.
Okay, 20 seconds.
And my fiance is not happy about this round. I got a lot of crap for it after. So we got one more. He lands a good jab here while I was baiting him to counter. Ate the body jab, but it opened up the cross to the head for me. I parried the jab again, but to the head, and fired back with my cross. This time, I slipped to the inside and came over top his jab with a right cross. This was actually 2 days later. This was after I sparred 3 5-minute rounds with Brazilian pro fighter Luca Corbage, the head coach of United Fight Center, so stay tuned for a sparring breakdown with him. Another good jab as he moved in, and expecting him to jab back, I slipped to the right even though no punch was thrown and sneaked in that rear uppercut. Trying to work my head movement, I timed and slipped his cross, missed my uppercut but caught him with the left hook. Some Philly shell guard here, shoulder rolling to evade his flurry of punches, and then my turn with the flurry of punches. Almost end of the round, I decided to push the pace, pressured forward and got him against the cage. As he circled out, I shifted into southpaw and threw my double right hook, and evaded his counterpunch. Whenever you are pressuring forward, you must always expect your opponent to try to counter you. I continue pressuring forward and I get him back against the cage again. He decides to stand his ground and fire back. I threw a 7-punch combination. Here's 1, 2 misses, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 goes right above his head. And an uppercut hook that misses, but the cross lands. And one more time, I slipped the cross and into my uppercut hook.